Hello viewers at home, welcome to this special edition of Global Culture. Today we have focusing on the African transformation based on the meeting that is coming up this week in Ethiopia, Addis Ababa, by the World Economic Forum. So this is a special diaspora and development program. And today I'm going to quickly welcome the panel. On my right-hand side, I have John. Welcome to this program.
Thank you.
Okay, great. And of course, right here, I have Mr. Samuel Adewusi. Welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, great.
I'm glad to be here. It's
Absolutely.
a pleasure.
Thank you. And John, tell our viewers at home, what's your full name, the organization you represent?
My name is John Patrick Guichard. I'm founder of Guichard Solutions.
And you are based in the United States, right?
I'm based in Beltsville, Maryland.
Okay, all right. And for those who, of course, listening to you, which African country are you from?
I'm from Guinea, Conakry.
Of course, you speak.
I speak French,
okay.
English, and a couple of languages from Guinea.
Oh, wonderful. Okay. And Mr. Adewusi?
My name is Samuel Adewusi. Like I said before, I am based here. I am the
Washington, D.C., right?
In the Washington, D.C. I am the president of the D.C. chapter of Nigerians in the Diaspora organization.
Oh, wonderful.
And the acronym is NIDO, NIDO-A.
Right.
So basically, we look out for the interests of the Nigerians in the diaspora towards building a sustainable solution for the people back home. Okay. That's what we do.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And of course, aside from your interest as the head of the Nigerian Diaspora organization, what's your day job? What's your profession?
My day job is a lawyer.
Okay.
I am a lawyer here in the United States.
Okay. I just want to make sure that viewers at home knows that, so that when you are making your comments, and they will know of course what's from the source of your knowledge. So,
okay. Thank you.
John, actually, I'm going to start with you. Looking backward, the diaspora, the African diaspora, what has been happening with us over the years?
It has been, looking back over the years, I've noticed that a lot of the people in diaspora have been getting more and more involved in the development of their countries, and by sending remittances and other means, some even returning to their country to participate in the development of the country. Right. So it's a good trend, especially over the past 2 or 3 years, where global economy has been sinking and suffering, especially in America, in the United States, and in Europe. A lot of people have decided to go back home to start businesses or try their hands at something there.
Right, right, absolutely. And we're going to talk more about that in terms of remittance. You mentioned the keyword, right? Remittances. And for those viewers at home, we're going to be able to share some couple of data with you. Of course, the African diaspora have about 100 million going back into their home countries, the different countries over the years, and that has been, a growing trend. And of course, it has attracted the World Bank, the United States, the USAID, and other even global organizations to see what is the impact of diaspora on development. And that's actually what we are focusing today. So, Mr. Adewusi, tell us, you are the head of the Nigerian diaspora. Tell us, what is the structure you have in place, and how have you been able to track the impact?
Well, when you mean structure, the structure of NIDO right now is actually worldwide. We have, starting with NIDO America, we call it NIDO Americas.
Yes, okay.
Because we have Brazil, we have Belize, we have Jamaica, we have Canada and North America right in there. Then we have NIDO Europe, we have NIDO Asia, and we have NIDO Africa. The only place where we don't have NIDO is Arctic or Antarctica, because we figured nobody can live there.
Okay.
So
okay. Never know very soon.
But maybe in the future, especially if based on the migration trends of Nigerians, they can live anywhere. So basically, but in the United States and Canada, we have regions. United States and Canada is divided into about six or eight regions, and then we have chapters under each region. So take for example, Washington, D.C., Maryland and Virginia, Northern Virginia especially, they are grouped under Region 2.
Right.
So we operate under Region 2, and then we have a regional director that is sent to the national board. And then we have a national board that oversees, the activities of all the chapters and the region in that.
So in terms of structure, you have a structure in place to be able to interface with Nigerians.
Definitely.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Right. John, in the talking about the Guinean diaspora, what is it that you have in place, and what are the basic trend in terms of things in place, remittances and other good stuff you have?
My organization, basically, I don't have something in place like Samuel does. I don't have a specific structure, but I've worked a lot in the development field, as in natural resource management, health, conflict resolution, democracy building. I've worked a lot in those fields.
Right.
And I've been going back and forth from Washington, D.C. to Africa, working with different organizations, especially on the grassroots level, to try and see what are the development trends, what can be done, what are the, I don't like using the word needs.
Right.
It's basically doing a community asset.
Okay.
Seeing what assets they have that they need to build on in order to develop themselves.
Tell us, our viewers at home especially, what did you find out in those, either trips or in those projects?
I found out that a lot of times, since I worked a lot with USAID and other donors, I found out a lot that it's not what is missing, basically, are the means for them to do what they need to in order to develop.
Right.
It's not a lack of will or lack of intelligence, like some people may want to frame it.
Right.
It's basically a lack of means. A lot of times, basically in the past, donors came with their funds and say, we want to invest in this. And after the 5 years of the project, everything went dead because the people didn't take ownership. Right,
absolutely. I'm going to talk more about that in terms of sustainability. And let me go back to Samuel a little bit about, in terms of the West African experience, the diaspora experience. What are the initiatives, if there is any, that you think the organization has been able to roll out, and so that maybe other Guinea, other Ethiopia, they can learn from that?
Well, I think right now, NIDO and other community organizations. Remember, now NIDO is like an umbrella organization for all the other communities. I can tell you now, NIDO has been primarily focused on data building for tracking the resources, human resources that are available in the diaspora, and then being able to build upon it so that we have multinationals operating in Africa, we have governments operating in Africa, so they can actually go into these databases and tap into it and extract and help to reverse the brain drain that is facing Africa. Wonderful. That is one of the major focus that NIDO is working on now.
One final question for this session, because we're going to be able to come back. Viewers at home, don't go away. We're going to have a quick break. Before we go, John, in terms of the World Economic Forum is hosting an event in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, next couple of days. What is your message for them?
My message for them is to really to listen to the people on the ground, the grassroots communities, to listen to them and see what it is that they want to do, and not instead of trying to impose things on them. They have ideas. They know what their needs are, and they can really express it. If they have the means, they can really take off. Okay, and they're going to be having a diaspora session there as well. So, Mr. Adewusi, as the head of diaspora in Washington, D.C., what's your specific message for them?
I echo Mr. Guchard's sentiment exactly. And another thing that I want them to do is this, is that it is time that African people, especially the diaspora themselves, and the government start working together.
Absolutely. Okay.
For a long time, you will go to most of these embassies and you will not see the diaspora section.
Okay. Now they are diaspora section.
They are working on it
right
now.
back, and we're going to be talking more about that. Thank you, Mr.
Okay.
Viewers at home, we come to the end of this session, and don't go away. We're taking a break right now, and we come back. You are watching Global Culture. Hello, my name is Akinwale Ojomo. I'm the executive producer of Global Culture Media here in Maryland, Washington, D.C. You are watching Global Culture, and don't forget, I will be at the World Economic Forum in Addis Ababa in the next couple of days, talking about the African transformation. And today we're talking about the diaspora and development. The diaspora is an integral part to create a transformation in Africa. See you then, and I will bring the information back to you.
Hello, my name is Samuel Adewusi. I'm the president of the DC chapter of Nigerians in the Diaspora Organization Americas, and you are watching Global Culture TV. Thank you.
Hi, my name is John Patrick Guichard, founder of Guichard Solutions. You're watching Global Culture.
Welcome back to the continuation of our Global Culture session. Today we're continuing the discussion about the African transformation, especially with the hosting of the World Economic Forum event in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. I have Samuel and John, and we're going to continue this conversation. So, Samuel, in the Nigerian diaspora, tell us, there's much in the area of diaspora, philanthropy. Can you tell us more about that medical mission and all those stuff?
Oh yes, the Nigerian Association of Medical Doctors, they call themselves AMPA. They engage in medical mission every year.
All right.
They go home and they choose one state, and then they rotate the states. Right. They perform operations, surgeries, and preventive medical missions. Right. And they even donate equipments to the local doctors and the state governments. They do that every year. And then there are some, the Nigerian Nurses Association also, they engage in this, type of, philanthropy. Right. And then you have the community organizations. These people, they just decide that, okay, our hometown needs, artisan wells, some wells, to provide potable water for, the community. And they will just do it without expecting anything back. And most of the time, some of these donations, they don't even get, deductions for it. They just figure this is part of their, contributions back to the motherland.
Wow, okay. So in the Guinea environment, I mean, what is the difference, or is there a specific thing you've been able to see during your project in those countries?
One thing specific I've been focusing on recently is art.
Okay.
I've been focusing on the art, especially artists, painters, and stuff, because to me the artists are the historians of a culture. For example, if you take a period movie and you see they can design the costumes the way they actually do, is because someone took the time to paint the person at that period so they can have an idea of what the person looked like before. So I've been encouraging and promoting a young African artists in the United States. And also part of the art sales that occur are sent back to the countries in order to support other artists and supplies, teaching, and other things. I'm also fostering exchanges between young artists in the United States and young artists in Africa, and also artists within Africa itself.
Wow, well that's wonderful, because of course arts is a way to really express, and we have a lot of, and here at Global Culture, we believe, of course, art is very significant in the way we, share our culture around the world, and the more we're able to promote this, even especially with the young people, the better, and we have to create opportunities for them. So, Mr. Adewusi, I'm going to come to you again, because of course the population of Nigeria is huge, right? So we always look Nigeria as a big brother, right, to be able to take leadership.
That is true.
In this area, do you think there are some challenges that, of course, if any government official is watching right now, the nurses, the doctors who goes home to do this, do they face any challenges at home?
Oh, yes. A lot of challenges. We are talking about bureaucratic challenges. Number one, when they go down to the embassies to get visas, it takes a long time. Number two, when they...
Can I stop you, please?
Yes.
Talking about visa, by the way, I just got my visa going to Ethiopia, and just talking about the African integration, and this is a great input for the World Economic Forum and the government in Ethiopia and even other African countries. The African Union should be able to integrate I'm a Nigerian and, of course, living in the United States, and I still need to go and get a visa to Ethiopia. So I think that's, the leadership at the AU needs to really take a look at this. And those are the part of the inputs they need to really have, because if there is no easy mobility within the African sub-region, then, of course, mobility of intelligence, mobility of resources, those are key things. So I just say I should not say that I just got my visa, so
yes,
please continue.
I echo Mr. Ojomo's stuff because what he just said about mobility of ideas, mobility of people, goods, and especially in Africa, where we don't have a lot of formal economies. Most of the economies we have is informal. And so to foster trade, between small businesses, if you allow them to have access to visa, actually ease visa requirements for all Africans, so they can actually travel within each sub-regions or inter-regions, then it makes life easy for them. But then going back to what I was saying before, the problems faced by the people who are trying to help the people, the diasporans, trying to help people back home, they would, we need to streamline the custom system whereby you have non-profit organization of diasporans coming home. The government should be able to help them and streamline the, the requirements so that they can get their equipment, especially medical equipment, through customs, and make sure that the customs are not holding them for any reasons. I'm not going to mention those reasons. For any reasons. As long as it's from the diaspora and it is for medical mission to care for the people back home. There should be no problem.
Viewers at home, I guess Mr. Dewisi just mentioned some valid points. I will just re-echo and just say that, of course, the diaspora, based on the remittances, has become a third economy, so to speak. So obviously, the ability to be able to speak eloquently from the diaspora side and present this case is very, very critical. And I'm going to come to you, sir. Can you share with us, in terms of we're talking about the diaspora philanthropy. Now, let's talk about the economic integration. Let's talk about the employment generation.
The employment generation, one of the ways to generate employment is to encourage people to invest in the country. In that, I mean, they need to ease taxes on goods, on imports, goods that people need in order to build. For example, if I'm in Guinea and I want to, or Cote d'Ivoire or Senegal, and I want to open a business, it's easy to do. But if I want to bring in material, taxes are too high, which makes it very difficult for me to practice anything because I have all these different duties, taxes. A simple example, as I export my car to Cote d'Ivoire, I have to pay, over here, the tax on the car is like 6%, depending on what state.
Absolutely.
In Cote d'Ivoire, let's say it's 40% of the value of the car.
So that's discouraging, right?
It's discouraging. Imagine that on building equipment, home equipment, machinery, all kind of stuff. It makes it prohibitive for people to say, okay, I'm going to open up a business and establish because of all the bureaucracy and all the taxes.
And I'm going to quickly mention, of course, talking about the economic opportunities and job creation, the different initiatives. The Western Union, of course, they are one of the biggest money transfer in the world, and they have, in the past 2 years, launched what is called the African Diaspora Marketplace. So it's actually an opportunity to actually support any African diaspora to go back and open some business. So this is the second year. As a matter of fact, we brought one of the officials on our show a couple of months ago. And we're going to be able to evaluate this in June as they are going to the next level. So aside from this economic job creation, we need to talk about political participation. People talk about leadership as issues in Africa. So Mr. Dewisi, tell us from a legal point of view, how much is the diaspora needs to be involvement in leadership?
Well, the diaspora needs to be involved. However, diaspora cannot stay out of the country and wish to be involved. The diaspora needs to start going back more often. The diaspora needs to join the political party. The diaspora needs to go down to the level, to the community, to the grassroots level, and start showing their faces. It's not only about money. Most of the time, it is not not how much money. It is how much work you've done. You don't come and say, "Well, I have been in the diaspora and I want to run for political office." It doesn't work that way. So diaspora needs to do that. Also, I will tell you what Nigerians in the diaspora are currently doing. We are working with the National Assembly to try and pass the diaspora bill.
Oh, wow.
The diaspora voting bill. We want to make sure that the Nigerian, because it's already been passed by the National Assembly, but we want to make sure that the implementation actually, goes into effect. And then Nigerian government, the National Assembly is also going to come up with, trying to get a vote on the floor for the Diaspora Commission. That will be just simply commission that is based on diaspora issue. So those are the kind of things that I think is coming on from our end. But however, I still want to urge the diaspora, and if you want to participate in politics, you cannot do so from outside. You have to constantly now start to go back home, see what people need, and don't go around in your cars. Take the buses. Walk around, because if you are riding around, you will not see what people are going through. You have to go actually take public transportation and see for yourself.
Wonderful. Okay, go ahead.
And to add to what Samuel is saying is that not only they have to go back and participate in the political and do that, but they also have to encourage young people to integrate political parties, because one of the problems that we always talk about in Africa is democracy. However, imagine this. The founder of a party is also the head of the party and is also the one running for president of the party. Now, if he has not been elected as the head of the party, how could you expect him to, once he gets into office, to respect democracy if he has never been elected to anything? He cannot.
That is true. The important thing is that, making sure that the democratic process works in different ways.
Works in different ways, starts at the grassroots level, educating people on their rights, especially on their rights. Have a viable and vibrant civil society to ensure that there's checks and balances.
And I think another thing you have to mention is the media, right?
Yes.
So the media is so powerful. So that's why we at Global Culture Media are trying to really make sure that we have this special program for this event. So that way we can have inputs, not from only the diaspora, even from the local folks as well, so that they will know it's a kind of a partnership. So when people come from diaspora, we don't have all the solutions, right? So we're looking for a kind of a partnership to see what really works better and make sure we have a better African community, right?
That is true.
Okay.
That is true.
Okay. So tell us, we talk about the economic civil participation, talk about engaging the young people. How much there's so much population of the young people.
Yes.
How can we tap into this?
Well, you go where the young people are.
Okay.
Young people are now, they are using social network as never before. You have to reach them there. Some politicians from Nigeria, have seen them on Facebook now. President of Nigeria is on Facebook. You have to go to, where they are having, parties. I'm sorry to say this, but you have to engage them. Where do they hang out? You have to go down to the university.
Churches,
you have to go down to the school. Especially the school, where they are, because most of the Nigerian kids don't do that anymore. So you have to go down to the schools. You have to go down to where they are, engage them at on the social network level, and actually do not speak down to them. Find out what are their aspirations. What do they want? How can give them any problem? Ask them to come up with a solution, and you'll be surprised about how smart these kids are. So that is what we have to do.
So John, tell us now that we have these young people put together. Tell us, what is the impact of technology? How can we really use that? I mean, why is it that not many inventions are coming out of Africa?
Well, in order to reach the young people, it's always, let's say, young people now know computer and technology more than us.
Absolutely.
That's one of the best ways to reach them. One of the reasons why inventions, you said, is not coming out of Africa, is that if you look at the African countries' budget, how much are they investing in education?
And innovations.
Innovation, research and development.
Right.
You know, a lot of emphasis needs to be placed on technology, education. Right. They should have technology centers to educate folks. Basically, also technical schools for technical schools in order to be able to have
basic skills, right?
Basic skills. The word is coming in French.
Okay,
it's not
okay, all right, yeah. And of course, it's interesting you said that because
in French it's main d'oeuvre. They know they have to have
the biggest technical skills,
basic
right?
skills.
Okay.
So,
and viewers at home, just to let you know, our gentleman right here actually is from Guinea, right? So he's able to speak not only English, of course, French at the same time. I mean, French is your original language, right?
Yes.
Okay. And just to let you know, very soon Global Culture will be having a French version. So don't go away, stay with us. And I think just to echo his critical points, innovation is very key. And I was just talking to some group of people that Africa better innovate right now or die. Because the power of innovation is going to drive that continent. The resources is kind of right there right now. So this is a century for Africa. But for Africa to own this century, they need to innovate. So the challenge for our leaders, before Samuel had, is that the leaders coming to the World Economic Forum, you got to put so much money for innovation. There cannot be same thing over and over again. You need to educate your people, the young people. They're going to transform the future. They are the future. They cannot be neglected. Sam.
And finally, to support everything that the other panelists have been talking about and our host, we have to now focus on intellectual property development. Apart from technology incubation, zones,
right?
Intellectual property, idea.
That's the law speaking right now. Unfortunately, we're going to go right now.
Idea is capital.
Right.
And they said idea is capital and money is nothing.
Wow,
so
okay. On that final note, I just told you, so if you have any idea you want to patent, just talk to him. Viewers at home and those actually right there in Addis Ababa are watching us today, we're so excited to really bring this to you, a special edition of Diaspora and Development. We are doing this before the World Economic Forum in Addis Ababa. Again, if you have any information or any question, go to our Facebook page, Global Culture TV. I will see you next time, and I will see you live in Addis Ababa. Thank you very much for watching.
Hi, my name is John Patrick Guichard. I'm the founder of Guichard Solutions.
And my name is Akinwale Ojomo. I'm the executive producer of Global Culture Media.
My name is Samuel Adewusi. I'm the DC chapter, president of the Nigerians in the Diaspora organization.
We are all coming together to provide an input to the World Economic Forum regarding the meeting that you are having in Addis Ababa. We believe Africans are very important in developing Africa. Enjoy your session right there, and we are providing to you an important ingredient towards diaspora and development. Thank you.
Thank you.